What's up, my beautiful people? Hope you're having a marvelous day. Exile451 here with yet another daily dose of Reddit Happy. Let's kick the week off right with some r/deciding to be better. So, let's get to it. Our first story comes from Little Pinguino93. I resolved to start dating again after 5 years of elected solitude and a life in hell. So, my last relationship ended in 2015, and not pretty. Frankly, I wouldn't argue with you if you said it was my fault. I needed some time to work through some old, traumatic crap afterwards, and I did that, one painful truth at a time. Lots of understanding that, in many cases, I was the problem. I faced down my past with the help of some good friends of mine. I'll always bear scars. Now I know what caused them, and that's giving me a strange feeling of peace. I know it can't harm me anymore. I know that some of these people have learned their lesson. They made mistakes, they apologized, they'll do better. Some won't. They aren't my problem anymore. I'm not sure I can recommend this way of action to anyone who's been through something that severe, but it helped me. I'm pretty sure that other person exists out there, and if you can read this, you're not a lost cause. You may feel like that, but you can find your way back. 2018, around this time of year, I made that last visit in that research. At 25 years old, I walked out of a mental hospital I was in when I was 8 years old. A place that mistreated me, drugged me, and almost killed me. Only the beginning of the hell my childhood was. I walked out of there, a file in my hands, and knew. I decided that I was free. There just was nothing left I had not learned about my past. Life is as it is. I can pick up the pieces and build something good. Now, since that time, I feel like a stable grown-up for the first time in my life. Not like an edgy teenager getting back at the world for crap that you can never get justice for. I feel like the adult in a room. I can argue without crying. I can enjoy myself at a party, not just pretend I do while I hate the world. I can move in, take charge of a thing, and do it. I'm not quiet anymore from fear of embarrassment. I listen when I'm interested, ask when I'm curious. I started doing my part for the community I live in. I do my taxes. That's natural for many people, but it wasn't for me, at least for a long time. When I was told by my boss and his boss to find a new job, corporate politics thing, they can't throw me out because it takes longer time. It's quicker and cheaper if I just go on my own. Within the next few months, I didn't break down or do something inappropriate. I thanked them for giving me the opportunity to leave on my terms, and the time working with them, got up and left. And somehow, that was the point where I realized I'm a man now. Not in the old, you just killed your first mammoth tribal kind of way. In the modern civilized businessman kind of way. Staying polite when they crap in your face, because anything else would just be a waste of time and Semtex. And I haven't lost my inappropriate sense of humor, as you can see. Today, I got my new job. Better salary, interesting work, nice team. I'll get the contract this week. I'll be gone in February, thanks to the laws around here and my current contract. Just a nice and clean exit. And shortly after I lost my new job, I decided that when that mess is cleared, I would start going on dates again. Not with the main objective of starting something serious, but just get back out there. Ready to meet nice people and have a good time. If something comes of it, a friendship or something more, be grateful and ready to care for it. Because unlike 2015, I feel like I can do this now. 2019 was good because I made progress and dealt with blowbacks like an adult. 2020 will be my year. You know, I'm loving coming up to the end of the year here and seeing so many people reflecting back on the things that have happened to them over the course of this past year, and how they're excited for the new challenges, the new things that the future offers them, that 2020 could provide to them. OP, I'm sorry that you went through all that drama and all that crap early on in your life, but it sounds like you've reached a point where that's not affecting you the way that it used to, and you're at a point where you can healthily move forward. And not just that, but use your story as an inspiration for others. Thank you so much for sharing this, and I really hope that you find a new job here soon. But wherever you're at, I really do wish you the best, and good luck in 2020. Our next story is from user Serenity5. I realized I was the toxic one in my relationship, and have been able to turn everything around. My boyfriend and I have been together for a little over a year and have lived together for about 6 months now. He's been my only source of support after I moved over 1,000 miles away from anything I knew, and I had to build my life from the ground up again. Needless to say, it was perfect conditions for my mental health to begin suffering drastically from stress, and my inferiority complex exploded because of how I idolized him and obsessed about him. Though unintentional, I began telling my boyfriend things like, "You're so much better off with a better woman," and "I want to kill myself and take you with me." I got clingy, would dump all my emotional baggage on him, depend on his love and patience to make me feel good. I even used to pretend to be sick or hurt just for his sympathy. Yeah, not the proudest moment of my life. I went to visit my parents for a weekend about a month ago, and we called one night. He told me to watch a video by Jaden Animations about toxic relationships. I knew I was being a lot to handle, but it wasn't until he used that video to tell me how he was feeling drained, scared, and at his wit's end that I realized I was really being toxic. He also told me that he really loves me and wants to help in any way he can for us to build a healthier, more stable relationship for both of us. I cried but held myself together, telling him how sorry I was and exactly what I wanted to do to change. Keep away from negative crap on social media, start going to the gym, try to keep small complaints to myself if they aren't actually a problem, and if nothing changed, I would find a therapist. I don't think anyone else in the world would have put up with my crap the way he did. I have made major progress in being more positive, even if it started as a fake it till you make it kind of way. Eating better to give myself more energy and lose weight to boost my confidence and overall health. I'm way less selfish and self-deprecating than I was, and last night, we had some of the best sex ever because of how in tune we've been with each other. We still have our off days, as anyone does, but we are happier overall, understand each other more, and I no longer sit and worry that I'm destroying our bond, yet not do anything about it. I'm excited to keep living, thriving, and building him up in return for everything he's done for me. Well, it takes a lot of courage to have that level of self-reflection where you're able to admit that you're the one that might be the toxic part of a relationship. So for that, OP, you're to be commended. It takes even more to actually do something about it. It's so easy when you're in that kind of a position to just continue to wallow in that sort of pit, and it's tough to climb out. I've seen it with other friends that I've had that act very similar to how you described yourself. But you're actually putting that baggage behind you. You're actually taking steps to be better. And that's something that I think everyone should be able to take a lesson from. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I truly wish you guys the best wherever you're at, and let people know how things are going for you guys in the new year. It sounds like you're on a great path, and I'd love an update. Our next story is from user Double Chicken. But first, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you can get more of your daily dose of Reddit Happy. My fear of failure and rejection would normally keep me from posting any of my writing, but I'm trying to improve my writing and think this will help. I'd like to share something that helped me deal with failure and how it may help others. I've been lurking around the sub for a while and decided that I wanted to share something that might be helpful to some. I've never been a great writer, but it's something I've been trying to improve on. I felt that sharing is the next step in my progress. This is a personal piece of my struggles and what I have been doing to try and conquer what was a big fear of mine. I always thought of myself as a complete failure in life. I wasn't great in school and I barely graduated. I dropped out of college twice and changed my career path several times. I constantly doubted myself in all types of situations. I tanked my credit from careless spending, I drank, smoked, ate like a 5-year-old with no supervision. I was a mess and scared every day. I was scared of meeting new people, voicing my opinion, checking my credit, calling someone back I should have called a week ago, everything. It was endless. The common denominator behind it all was that I was afraid of failure. I failed so many times in my life that I didn't know anything else. It was like the boogeyman to me. I would avoid things just so there was no opportunity for me to fail. It was toxic to everything in my life. But then, something changed. I decided to take inventory of my life and look at what I needed to do so that I didn't see myself as a waste of life. I had to fix my credit, pay off debt, hit the gym, quit drinking and smoking, eat real food, It was a lot, and I had to find a way to conquer each one. In the end, I chose to step outside my comfort zone and say, screw it. I learned to fail without feeling so self-conscious about it. I chose not to care what other people thought. To me, failure is the best teacher I have. It doesn't matter what I read, watch, or listen to. Nothing gives me a better lesson than failure. I never really conquered my fear though. I learned how to handle it. Without fear, I probably wouldn't have learned as much from my mistakes and wouldn't have taken the proper steps to correct them. I learned how to be better prepared and build good daily habits. I learned to set goals in a way that failure isn't a possibility. I focus on what's important, and if I fail, I'll pick myself up and try again. I decided to do better, and it has been working in my favor ever since. I'm still far from where I want to be, but every day I'm grateful that I decided to try. And now that I started to frequent the subreddit, I've begun to notice familiar stories. It's just my opinion that the fear of failure and lack of successes kill motivation, the drive we need to move forward. But if I can help one person in the sub commit to taking it one day at a time and see failure in a positive way, then I'll be happy. There's more to this post where they go into tips about things that have helped them, and I cut it off there because it's not really what I'm going for with the story. But if you guys want to check that out, it is at the link in the description below for story 3. That having been said, OP, that's a huge sign of personal growth, and it's amazing that a subreddit is one of the things that really kind of inspired you to do it. I heard once that as human beings, the fear of failure is one of the most primal ones that we feel, one of the ones that is most innate within us, and that most people run away from it as often as possible because of that deep-rooted fear, even to their own detriment. To overcome that, or at least learn how to handle that, is a huge accomplishment, so congratulations on that. And quite frankly, you've given me some things to consider about myself as well. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Best of luck in 2020, and wherever you're at, I really do wish you the best. Our next story is from user Gabbo the Fox. I decided to be more independent. I don't know how to describe 2019, but despite my personal problems, I decided to be independent in terms of work and money. Look, I graduated from film and television 4 years ago, and after that, I had a few paid gigs related to the career I studied. However, I started to feel depressed and unmotivated when I remembered some things I hadn't done while I was at the university because of the academic pressure and my insecurities of creating personal projects, along with the constant failures. One of these things is creating content for the web, especially making videos on YouTube. My biggest fear is to talk in public and how the people will judge me, because I had problems when I was in school. The other thing is the work and money. Even though I had 2 paid jobs, the money I spent was only in paying bills and buying unnecessary stuff, without mentioning that I always depended on my mom in terms of the university and other things, and she's tired of it. Now, as the year ends, I decided to make my own road in terms of work and money, as well as losing my fear of talking in public, all because I attended a workshop in documentary filmmaking. I met many interested people and made a good project in 6 months. Because of this, I accepted a paid gig for a small project, which it ended well, and there will be another project the next year. And I feel so happy about it. But the journey still begins, and I have much to do in 2020 to overcome my fears, get experience, and meet more people, even when I'm shy. The web project is still going. I'm in the middle of the procrastination and the lack of inspiration in order to create content. And I want to learn other things like drawing, for example. Well, OP, if I could give you one little piece of advice when it comes to creating web content, especially YouTube, just do it. I saw a meme once where it was something along the lines of, your first video is gonna suck. Your first voiceover is gonna suck. Your first insert XYZ, whatever project you're trying to make, will suck. But you don't get to your 50th without doing your first. And I'll tell you right now, I look back at my channel, my first video, I'm boggled by the fact that it is still somehow getting views every so often. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a big channel right now, but still, it's getting hits. The video that I have that has the most, that gets hits every day, I am still blown away at the fact that that is the one that's the most popular, because it's not as good as the stuff I'm putting out now, and I'm not even going to pretend like the stuff I put out now is phenomenal. but you don't ever get to that 2nd or 10th or 50th or 100th, or in my case, 140 whatever I'm at this point, without doing your first. You just got to get out there and do it. And trust me, once you get started, once you get that ball rolling, you're going to find it's a lot easier than you're psyching yourself up to think that it is. But that's an admirable goal to set for yourself of, I want to be more independent. I want to have more control over my own life and be less reliant on other people. Best of luck in doing so with this next year. I know you can do it. I do believe that you have that drive and that motivation. If you didn't, you wouldn't be going out of your way to do things like workshops and network with people there as you try to build yourself up more. You can do this. Best of luck in 2020, and wherever you're at, I do wish you the best right now. That was r/deciding to be better. And if you want more inspiring content of the things people are doing to make their lives better, then go ahead and check out the playlist link in the description below. Now you guys go out there, have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.